All right, America, we need to talk about this business of systemic racism. I'm going to try to be as kind as possible, but I also need to take off the kid gloves because we're all adults here and we need to understand what's going on in the world around us. You have a lot of people that say that America's a racist place, that America is just systemically racist, and the only way to fix the problem is to just tear down the country and start all over. Now, I just want to address that mentality, and I just want to start by saying, yes, there is some racism in America. For example, you have very powerful people who are very racist. Like that time that Joe Biden said that if you don't vote for him, then you're not black. Why would a major political party's presidential candidate be saying that he owns your vote if you're a certain skin color? That's basically like saying that black people belong on a Democrat-run plantation where their only option is to vote for him. So the fact that a major political party has a candidate like that who's openly saying racist things, we do have a racism problem that we need to address. And that's not the first time that Joe Biden has been racist. In the mid 90s, he created this crime bill, which basically was aimed at arresting African Americans and Hispanics in poor communities for even the most minor offenses. And he thought it was funny. He thought it was awesome. And so, yes, America does have a racist problem because America has a Joe Biden problem. But it gets worse than that. His vice presidential candidate, Kamala Harris. Now, she's the sneakiest of them all because she pretends to be black. But if you actually look at her history, her mom is Indian. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with being Indian. I think that's cool. You know, her mom is East Indian, like actual Indians from India. Not my kind of Indian as a Native American, but like her mom's actually Indian. Her dad descends from white slave owners in Jamaica. So she really isn't African American. She doesn't descend from slaves in the United States in the American South. She doesn't have that history, yet she pretends to be a black woman. She's really lying about her race. She's basically the brown version of Rachel Dolezal when you sit back and think about it. But let's talk about Kamala Harris. If you watch the Democratic debates, you saw that Tulsi Gabbard pointed out that she when she was Attorney General in California, she had a lot of black people kept in prison beyond their prison sentences to use them as cheap labor. So let's stop and think about that for a second. We have somebody who kept black people in chains, because that's when you're in the federal or when you're in the state prison system, kept them in chains to produce labor. How is that not slavery? I'm sorry, Kamala Harris is a slave owner just like her Jamaican ancestors. Facts. So if we want to do something about slavery, why in the universe, if we want to do something about racism, why in the universe would we vote for the party whose lead of the ticket, Joe Biden, has openly said racist things, and the vice president on that ticket has actually owned black slaves? I don't understand how you could possibly vote Democrat. So all I just want to say, if you want to end systemic racism in this country, stop voting Democrat. Now you may say, well, who are you to say that? Well, listen, folks. America's history is my history because I descend from pretty much every major group that ever set foot on this soil. I am a mixture of Irish, Cherokee, mulatto, and Mexican. So pretty much every major group that set foot on this country, I descend from them. America's history is my history. It's in my genetics. And I can just say to you that when you push this idea that America is just a hopelessly racist place, I just want to say you're doing more harm than help. You might think you're helping, but you're actually hurting. And let me tell you 3 main reasons why. Number 1, it's not true. Just look at the history of it. We once had a brown man running the Supreme Court, Thurgood Marshall. Remember? We have Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. Sonia Sotomayor, if I understand, she's Hispanic, right? So we have black and brown people sitting on the most powerful court in the country, the most powerful court on the planet. America used to be run by a mulatto, Barack Obama. He's half black and half white, right? America used to be run by a mulatto, and guess who elected him? White voters in Pennsylvania. So all that to say that you want to attack these Pennsylvania voters, these white rural Pennsylvania and Ohio voters saying, oh, you're so racist. These people once sent a mulatto to the White House twice. And the reason why they're now supporting Trump It's because he's done a better job on the economy. So you can't blame them for wanting to vote in such a way that will protect the economy and make sure that we don't have massive poverty from heavy taxes. How hard is that to understand? It's pretty simple. Why would you vote for the party that wants to make you poor? That doesn't make any sense. That's the simplest way I can put the decision of this 2020 election. Anyway, so I covered the Supreme Court. We once had a person of color running the Supreme Court. We have colored people on the Supreme Court now. We once had a man of color run the White House. How about the Congress? How many black senators do we have? We've had black senators. Tim Scott comes to mind. We've had others. Even Kamala Harris, the person who complains about racism. She is of Asian descent because she's Indian, right? And she's sitting on the most powerful Senate on this planet. And she wants to complain about racism. It's kind of like when Oprah wanted to, have this book editorial where she wants to whine about racism. You're a millionaire. You probably could own a person just like that by paying them a high enough salary. She has so much power and influence, and she wants to complain about how the deck is stacked against her when she's holding all the cards. See how that makes very little sense? See how that doesn't make sense whatsoever? Why? Just ask yourself, why is it that the colored people that get up on TV to complain about racism are some of the richest people of color ever? Does that just think? I just want you to think about that, America. So it's just simply not true. We've had black Congress members, Hispanic Congress members, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez likes to complain about racism, yet she, as a woman of Latina descent, is just on the most powerful Congress on this planet. Yet she complains that the country's racist. If the country really was that racist, we'd only have white people, or we'd only have black people. We'd only have people of one color running things. But if you look at every branch of government that we have, it's multicolored. So this argument that America is systemically racist just is not true. Now, there is a lot of systemic racism on the Democrat side of things. Think about it. All of the cities where black and brown people are doing the worst, what political party is the mayor? What political party is the city council? It's always Democrat. Why? Because Democrats were the party of slavery. Just think about that for a second. I hope I'm opening your mind a little bit here. I'm not saying that everything the Republicans do is correct. I'm just saying you need to look at the history and not just believe everything that the Democrats tell you. I want you as an informed voter to make your own choice and not just let these reporters and these politicians tap into your emotions and get you out of your logic. No. Let's keep our heads clear and let's make the best decision that we can make. So that's the first reason. It's just simply not true that America is systemically racist. The second reason is that it does more harm to black and brown children than help. Think about this. If you start off a young black or brown child's life telling them, hey, you're defeated, the deck is stacked against you, there's nothing you can do about it, whatever. What do you think is going to happen to that child? They're going to internalize a sense of failure. They're going to internalize a sense of defeat. They're going to think, why even try if the deck is stacked against me? I refuse to pass such a hopeless message down to children. I think that is wicked. I would tell a child, hey, if you put forth the effort and do the best that you can, then God can bless you and you can succeed. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you try hard enough, you might find very well that you can succeed. And don't let anybody ever make color an issue, because you are just as smart or just as capable as anybody else. Doesn't matter what their color is. You just got to put your mind to it. You see, I would tell young people of color, hey, it's about your goals, your drive, your focus, and your ambition. Do your best, and you can expect to get a better result than someone who does nothing at all. I would tell them, hey, there's hope if you put forth the effort. It's cruel to teach a child, especially, children of color, hey, you're going to fail because you came out the womb cursed with your color and it's a strike against you. That is a ridiculous message. And you white liberal, pumpkin spice latte, Starbucks hipster, wearing Uggs in the winter and Birkenstocks in the summer, white liberal female college professors who are poisoning young minorities' minds by telling them that things are hopeless because of their color. Shame on you. You're not actually helping. You're not actually doing anything. You may be bored because, you have your grandfather's trust fund and you have so much wealth you don't know what to do with. So you're just looking for a cause to give your life some meaning. Let me tell you right now, you're not going to find meaning in poisoning the minds of young minority children. You need Jesus, actually, because what you're doing is you're destroying young minds, because that leads me to my third and final reason. When you preach this business of systemic racism and that America's just a racist place, here's the problem with that. It is dangerous to our national security. And the reason is because when you tell young minorities there's no hope in the system, you tell young minorities this country is stacked against you, the only logical conclusion then is to burn down the system and start over. And that's where you get Black Lives Matter riots. That's why the co-founder of Black Lives Matter said that he wanted to literally burn the country down and start over. Those were his words. And so when you teach young people you can't win if you play by the rules, then their only option is to break those rules and try to start their own game. And that is a dangerous direction in this country. That would lead us to a race war. And we don't want that. What we want to do is realize, hey, work hard, do your best. You young people of color, if you really want to honor your ancestors, work hard, serve God, and do the best you can, and God can bless you. Let's not take God out of the equation, because these people who want to tell you that, oh, you're doomed because of your color, are the same people that will tell you that there's no God and that there's no rules, just do what you want. That is ridiculous. Everybody needs Jesus, because Jesus Christ is the great equalizer. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither male nor female. There's neither bond nor free, for you're all one in Christ Jesus. Y'all need the Lord, because this mess is ridiculous. I hope you think about what I've said. God bless.